say this again and again and again, but when I start seated on the ground, the reason that I use a blanket or a bolster beneath my seat is because I have a thigh. I have a thighs. I have a thighs and bellies. No. And when we elevate our seat, we're creating space here. So our spine, our lumbar spine especially, can align with the rest of our nice long line here. And then as you sit, and maybe it's cross-legged, maybe instead of bending the knees, you extend the legs out. This can be a really strong posture as well to start in. Invitation to explore, choose, right? Meet yourself where the body feels like it's the most stable, has the most space, and where you feel a little, and then when you find that spot, we're going to relax our body. Allow your mind's awareness to really feel the weight of your body pressing down into the earth. You might even close your eyes as you relax through the legs, the glutes. Feel the weight of your body slowly melting down into the earth. We're just taking a moment to ground ourselves in the here and now. You are in your body, in this moment, melting down into the earth intentionally, feeling the solid foundation beneath you as it holds you up. Can you feel that in your mind's eye? The solid foundation beneath you really holding you up as you relax the body heavy into it. And then we're going to use this nice strong foundation. You're actually going to press down into it and then use that strength to lift tall through the spine. So it's like we're pressing down into that foundation to reach. And you might, on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up and reach with those fingertips as well. And can you feel both now the body weighting down? Can you feel also the length as it grows skyward? We're going to keep this beautiful energy throughout our practice, this grounding down, this rooting down. Sometimes I like to imagine rooting down into ancient wisdom, right? The earth, been here since long before we have. So we root down into it. And it actually, science shows us, relaxes our nervous system. And so as we root down, find that grounding, right? That presence. And then on each inhale, lift tall, use that grounding to own your power, find height, find length. And then maybe you bring the palms down at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Our class is a full body class, all about the Ajna or the third eye. You might take 2 fingers and find that spot between the brows here, and you might press in. We're going to find isometric engagement of the muscles around the neck. So as you press directly back into that space between the brows, you're going to feel the muscles of the neck begin to engage, to hold yourself steady, right? You're a statue. You breathed the grounding, right? You took that strong foundation, you owned your power, and now you are here firm, like an ancient tree, right? Pressing into that third eye. This is where a lot of little muscles meet and bundle. This is also a pressure point. You're releasing tension in the head, neck, and shoulders, literally just by doing this, and the mind. Keep the jaw soft, keep the tongue soft. You're going to want to engage them because the body likes to support itself, right? But relax. We're leaving the work to the neck and the arm. When you're ready, relax both down. Feel sensation. You might give some shoulder rolls just to acknowledge the effort of the arm there. But take deep breaths into the body as you just feel that space between the brows. And then one more time, opposite hand now, if it feels right. Pressing into that space directly back, isometric engagement. Keep the jaw and the tongue soft here. Can you keep the glutes soft? Can you soften through the legs and the toes, all while keeping this firm? So much is happening right now. Strength, releasing of chronic tension, deep awareness, mind-body connection, right? Interoception. Beautiful things happening, and all we're doing is sitting still and being present. My God. When you're ready, release. Take a moment and feel that space, and then find some shoulder rolls the opposite direction. You're just looking for a little balance. Ooh. I've got a little grub on a line, like a little spider line floating in front of my face. I'm just going to put him over there for safekeeping, and then we'll get back to what we're doing. From the shoulder rolls, we're going to find isometric engagement of the neck on the lateral sides. So lifting that left hand, the heel of the hand is going to find the temple, and then isometric engagement. The heel of the hand presses in now, just like we did at the third eye, the Ajna, as the head remains stationary. So really, there's this pressure happening. You might take that free hand and explore the muscles around the neck. Over here, you might notice on this right side that things are engaged, but they're not rock hard or intense. And then walk the hands over to the other side of the neck. Maybe you feel it a little more intensely engaged over here. Maybe it feels the same. We're just here to notice as we hold this intensity. This creates mobility, right? Just holding this intensity. It's going to release those muscles deeply. Go ahead and soften. Beautiful. When you're ready, drop that ear towards that same shoulder. Ooh, just a big stretch along the opposite side of the neck here. Hold. Let those shoulders relax. Let that right arm maybe reach down towards the earth, like the palm of the hand wants to press flat. So we're really getting into the opposite side of the neck. Relax the jaw still. I know it wants to help. That's okay. That's habit. We're here to rework old habits. On an inhale, release, rise up nice and slow. Isometric engagement one more time. Press and hold. Can you soften everywhere but where this engagement is needed? Can you let deep breaths flow down into that space behind the belly button? Can you let those exhales go all the way? Exploring the fullness of your breath, letting the jaw remain soft as this isometric engagement continues for a few breaths longer. Release. And then this time, opposite ear towards opposite shoulder. We're just going to stretch out those muscles that were engaged. You might take that left hand, reaching the palm flat towards the floor. Inviting, right? How deep does it feel good to go? Because you can take this right hand and weight the head down. Get even deeper into the side of the neck. And then before we rise up, we're going to hold this length and then rotate your gaze down towards the earth. Pause here. You might again take this hand weighting down the back of the head, the occipital bone, Gently inviting the forehead down towards the earth, down towards the ground. And then release that hand. Let the head roll back forward. And then rise up when you're ready. Beautiful. Ooh, just feel what is. If shoulder rolls feel nice, do it. If wiggles and shifts feel nice, explore it. You are the captain of this ship, right? Your ajna, your third eye, is a place of awareness. And you are the most aware creature on your journey. So be present with your journey. That's your whole job this morning. Be present with what you feel, right? Be here on the mat. Each time the mind wanders, worrying about the past or the future, when you notice, gently invite it back. Let it feel the stretch, the ache, the pull, the breath. And then when you're judging yourself, which is another version of the mind wandering, right? Because in our practice, our ajna does not judge. It's not good or bad, and right? It's not enough or not enough. It simply is witnessing what's happening. So with our third eye this morning, with our ajna, this place of wisdom, that's what ajna, third eye, means in Sanskrit, we, without judgment, observe what is happening in the present moment on our mat. Let that be your journey. It's a hard enough journey as it is, and a huge step in our healing. So, opposite side, isometric engagement. The heel of that left hand finds that temple. And then, when you're ready, engage those muscles. If you're curious about it, let the hand, that free hand, travel. Notice how maybe one side of the neck is more firmly engaged than the other. Maybe it's all firmly engaged. There's no wrong answer, because the reward is in the witnessing. It's in noticing what is, not wishing it was different, right? The healing, the reward, the deep connection between mind, body. We're looking for decreased pain, increased mobility. We're looking for our mind and our body to be a little kinder and more connected with us and our goals. And literally, we do that just by witnessing what's happening without judgment. That's how you cultivate it. We're not here to change it, just experience it. When you're ready, release, okay? Right ear towards right shoulder. That left hand, the palm of it might reach flat towards the earth, because again, it's the left side of the neck we're bringing this stretch to. And now that you know you can use your hand as a weight, feel free to use it as a tool whenever you'd like. Hold this for another deep breath or two into that space behind your belly button. How full, how stretched can you get it as you inhale every drop of breath you can fit? And then let it go nice and messy. Feel the belly button pull towards the spine as you squeeze every drop of air from your lungs. As the head hangs heavy. Release and rise up when you're ready. One last time, isometric engagement. This is a huge, huge boon. Get it going. Feel the intensity rise. But this is a boon for all of the relief that we are seeking in the head, neck, and shoulders. So much tension is carried here, so much emotion. We call this also trauma, right? Parts of the body that chronically, repeatedly, or consistently, constantly are tensing, shortening, holding. This isn't just muscles, this is fascia, right? That does it as well. That constricts movement, that causes chronic pain. And really, it's doing that in a response to emotion, right? Fear, worry, CPTSD, PTSD. And so we are here engaging with awareness, changing these patterns. When you're ready, let go. This time, opposite ear towards the shoulder. That right palm pressing down towards the earth. Weight it up if it feels nice, or weight it down rather, right? Allow your mind's eye to be here in the stretch for the moment. Can you adjust your movement? Sometimes I like to imagine pressing length through my spine as the spine follows this curve, right? You're made up of a bunch of vertebrae. It's like a bunch of little bricks, all connected by squishy connective tissue. So as the muscles lengthen, your vertebral column lengthens too, and it can follow this nice little curve you've created. So find that length. Let it bring even more stretch into the side of the neck. And then keeping the head weight heavy, slowly turn your gaze down towards the mat. Relax your jaw. You might again weight that occipital bone, melting the forehead towards the earth. Just getting into a different part of the neck and back and shoulders here. We take it slow because there's huge reward here, not just physically, but mentally. So slowly roll the head forward and then rise up nice and slow. Take a moment. You might do some neck circles. Ooh, one way. Take it so slow. Because we've engaged these muscles really deeply, they're also going to be very mobile. So explore in one direction and then explore in the other. Maybe you feel the ache, stretch, pull. Maybe you hear the pops, the sizzles. No wrong way to be. We just witness what is. Jaw stays soft, breathing deep into the belly. And then when you're ready, let the head float upright. From here, we're going to get into tabletop. So using this blanket for hands and knees, if it feels right. You might use something even squishier than this. With knees beneath the hips, about hip distance apart, palms beneath the shoulders. Now you can use your brick or an ottoman to protect your wrists, right? So listen to your body this morning, but from a nice long neutral spine, let's start our cat-cow. On an inhale, drop the belly low towards the earth. Take a deep breath into that space behind the belly button. We're going to take our tailbone and curl it up towards the sky, really arching that low back. So we've invited our pelvis into this. You might give it a little wiggle here. Really letting that belly drop low. The heart starts to drop low. And then on an inhale, lift that chin towards the wall in front of you. You might feel the front of the throat stretch. You might feel the heart lift a little as it stretches. Beautiful. So here we are in cow pose, and we're stretching the front body from chin all the way to tailbone. This is a powerful release. On an exhale, curl your tailbone in. Let's find our way into cat. So the head drops low towards the earth. And what you find is that the tailbone wants to curl inward towards your third eye, right? And you might even reach your third eye towards that tailbone, really finding this C shape in your spine. And then press length into your arms, right? We're going to press the palms further down into the earth. This helps separate the shoulder blades just a little bit. And now we're opening up the whole back body from the base of the skull all the way to the tailbone. And what an incredible thing to be able to be here on our hands and knees and to be able to stretch, move, and bring mobility to such huge and important parts of our body. On an inhale, find a flow. Come into cow. Exhale, press the mat away. Curl the tailbone into cat. So inhale, drop the belly low. Tailbone rises. Exhale, curl it in. Press the mat away. Back and forth. Excuse me. Now you might continue just like this, or you might want to bring the stretch from the chin to the tailbone further down to the toes, right? Why don't we stretch the whole front body? Well, let's start with what we know. To stretch the front body, we move into cow. So drop the belly low, curl the tailbone up, lift the chin. And then to further stretch the front body, we want to stretch the front of the leg. So you might press down in to that left leg, lift the right, and then point the toe. So as the belly drops low, as the chin reaches forward, we're lifting this right leg, pointing the toe, stretching the whole front body. Beautiful. On an exhale, curl it into cat. Find your traditional cat. Drop that right knee. And then if we want to stretch the whole back body, what you might do while you hold this nice rounded spine in cat is just extend that right leg long. We're going to curl the toes on the mat, press through the heel. So here we are stretching through the back of the leg as we curl into cat. And now what you might do is imagine your Ajna, instead of curling in towards that tailbone, it's curling in towards that right big toe. And we're getting this whole back body stretch. So maybe you move with your breath, focusing on cat-cows with just this right leg. On an inhale, we drop the belly low, lift the chin, lift that right leg, point the toe. Exhale, plant the toe, curl the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Move with your breath. We'll do this twice more, and then we'll switch sides. Beautiful. Plant that right knee. Go ahead when you're ready and lift that left leg skyward, and then drop the belly low into cow. Lift the chin. Point that toe. We're opening up the whole front body. Exhale. Lengthen that leg, curl the toes on the mat, find your spine in cat, reach that Ajna, that third eye towards that left big toe. Inhale, cow. Lower. Exhale to cat. Find your flow. Twice more if it feels right. Beautiful. Drop that left knee down. We're going to curl both toes on the mat. Walk the hands back. We're going to lift up. And then try out broken toe posture. Broken toe posture is a wonderful opportunity to engage with what is happening in our minds, right, and our bodies in an intense moment, knowing that no harm will actually be caused. So, with the toes curled, we're going to stretch the muscles, but namely the fascia, which has way more nerve endings in it than your muscles do, at the back of the toes. And we're going to do this by slowly sitting our hips back towards our heels and go so slow because it builds fast and it gets intense. And you only want to sit back as far as your body says yes to. And sometimes it says, yes, that's a lot. And sometimes it's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But find an intensity that you can remain present with in your body as the toes stretch, and then pause there. Breathe into it. Notice how Oftentimes, when we're feeling intensity somewhere in the body, all of our muscles tense up to support it, right? Like they're a team player. The body is connected. When one part struggles, other parts want to tense and support it. And sometimes that's helpful. And oftentimes that's very unhelpful. And so, in this moment, while the feet or toes are experiencing intensity, relax the rest of the body. Relax your jaw. Breathe deep into your belly. Can you soften everywhere that wants to habitually tense while you stretch those toes? And notice that you can be here in the midst of intensity and remain your soft, strong self. We're almost done. Remain soft. Each time the body retenses, bring softness again, right? We come to this place again and again and again to find freedom from habits we formed before we even knew what was happening. All right, when you're ready, tabletop, shake those toes out, or I like to smack them against my mat. I find that it's a nice little relief from all of that intensity. You might even lean back and press them into the earth, a nice little massage. And then from here, we're going to step the left leg forward into Anjaneyasana. So from here, placing hands on the hips, an opportunity to again open up the front body, just like we did in cow pose. We're going to lift the chin skyward. We're going to feel maybe the throat lengthen, the heart rise and open. And then you might even help that heart out by squeezing the shoulder blades back, squeezing the elbows back. And as you keep this height, you might lean those hips forward. Maybe today's a day for it, maybe not. And then the further forward we lean, the further we lift the chin, the more we're opening up the whole right front hip flexor, the right side of our body. Beautiful. Go ahead and sink back. You're going to lengthen this front left leg and then lower the heart down towards the toes. And if you really want a good stretch, you're going to flex the heart back towards the toes as the toes reach towards the heart. And it's like this imperceptible movement or tension that brings length to the back body. Rise up. Let's switch sides. Again, meeting your hips where they want to be, right? It's going to be different today than it is tomorrow, than it is next week. And we allow that different to just be information, not, oh, it's less than it was last week, so I'm less than. That is not real. That is westernized, colonized BS, and we throw it out. We're here exploring our beautiful selves exactly as we are, and it is enough every which way our body meets us here. When you're ready, lift that front body. We know how it feels, right? To open from chin to tailbone. Do it here. And then if you would like, squeeze those shoulder blades back, squeeze those elbows back. You might press those hips gently forward. Maybe not, man. Lifting is enough. Beautiful. When you're ready, lengthen that front right leg, lower the heart. Flex those toes back towards the body. Just for a moment or two. Beautiful. From here, sweep that right leg in. An opportunity to play in downward dog. Now, if down dog is not your jam for your wrists, hang out in your tabletop. Explore, do some barrel rolls, get some intuitive movement. Otherwise, we'll all start in tabletop. For those of you coming into downward dog, curl the toes on the mat. We're going to lift the hips up and back towards our heels. And this time we're letting our heart center melt towards the big toes. And I like to make space for my belly and thighs by widening my stance on my mat. Sometimes I even make space, just like I do in a forward fold, bringing the knees out wide, letting my belly find space, and then lengthening the knees. first downward dogs of the day are always the hardest. So to bring ease to this downward dog, find movement. Walk your dog. Bend your left knee and then your right. As you bend the left knee, you might drop that left hip towards the earth. Right knee, right hip. Finding a little twist. Maybe that feels good. Maybe it doesn't. And then from wherever you are, tabletop or downward dog, you're going to look forward and slowly make your way into a forward fold. So hop, step, skip, jump, dance your way towards the top of your mat. Forward fold with tummies. We're making space, right? Just like in downward dog, you might widen and bend the knees. Let the belly find its space and then melt the heart. Blocks are a beautiful tool here. If you're my hypermobile babes, we're always tempted to extend those knees. Keep a gentle bend, right? We want to be engaging the muscles and not relying on our locked joints to bring strength here. On an inhale, press down into the earth through the pads of your feet. Rise up to flat back. This is just standing tabletop. You can even grab your blocks. It's like giraffe tabletop, right? Here we are, a nice long flat back. And then from tabletop, a little cat-cow. Can you do standing cat-cow? What does it feel like? This is where a chair or blocks really come in handy. This is what I mean is like there is so much more movement available to us and sensations available when we're willing to use props, right? We seem to think that props are like not legit yoga or like there's some medal or ribbon you get, which is just complete and utter BS. So with or without props, exploring your half lift cat-cow. And then when you're ready, your neutral tabletop once more. We'll take a generous bend in the knees and then sweep the arms out and up. Rise up tall. Palms together towards the heart when you're ready. Beautiful. Let's meet wild hare. Whew. Put your pants back on or not, whatever. In our Tadasana. We'll start a little flow here. Now, we are going to use our pad here for Anjaneyasana because that will be part of awakening the body. So maybe you keep the blanket there, maybe you don't. You decide through your practice. On an inhale, when you're ready, sweep the arms out and up. Find length through your body. Breathe here. Just like in your seat earlier, now we're grounding down through the feet, right? Feel the weight of your body. You might give it a few bounces, pressing through the pads of your feet. This is awareness. This is Ajna. Each time in your practice, you bring this awareness to what is happening. You are cultivating your third eye. You are cultivating your wisdom because first, wisdom connects with self-knowing before it ever can speak to what's happening around it, all right? So ground down, and then each inhale, just like when we were seated, rise tall. Use that energy. Let's start our flow. I'm going to cue to move on inhales and exhales. Take as many breaths between movements as you would like, right? Our goal isn't to move at the same pace. Our goal is simply to explore, to bear witness and observe. On an exhale, find your full fold. All the way down, drop it low. Hang out for a breath or two. Make space for the belly. On an inhale, find your flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the right leg back. Lower that knee. I'm going to move this blanket forward for my ease. Lower that knee. On an inhale, we rise all the way up. And again, Anjaneyasana opens the front body. So just like in cow pose, we're lifting that chin. We're opening through the whole heart. And then you might even sweep the arms up and press the thumbs back. Just further opening the heart center. From here, in exhale, we're going to plant the hands and sweep back into tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to lower down onto the belly. So here is a modified chaturanga. To lower, elbows remain tucked into your side body. Heart, press through the arms, cobra. Right? Hanging out here. You can lift as much as you would like. Just a little lift, medium lift, lot of lift. Know that a lot of lift is easier than medium lift and low lift. So it might look fancy, but that doesn't mean it's better for you. And again, just like in cow pose, we're opening up the body. This is powerful. It closes, right? From chin to tailbone when we stress, when we get depressed, when we don't recognize our own worthiness. So part of opening up your third eye, part of awakening your place of wisdom is owning your worthiness, is knowing that you are worthy, that you have wisdom within you. From cobra, you're either going to press back into a child's pose like this, or curl the toes, downward dog. You decide. Maybe you walk the dog, maybe you don't. Be where the body says yes. And then on an inhale, everyone looks forward. We're going to hop, step, skip, jump towards the top of our mat, forward fold. Inhale when you're ready, find your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, rise tall. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Beautiful. Let's play with that flow on the opposite side. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, find that standing tabletop. This time on your exhale, you're going to step that left knee back, plant it down into the earth. Inhale, Anjaneyasana on the opposite side. Hang out here. Find that lift through the chin. We're opening up that front body. We're inviting in our wisdom with each deep breath. You might open further. With each deep breath in, you might invite that wisdom, that knowing. On an exhale of your choice, plant the hands, sweep it back. We're going to lower it down, chaturanga, elbows tucked. Rise to cobra. Exhale, child's pose or downward dog. Breathe for a few. Take a moment. If you've been walking the dog here or wiggling and moving, you might take some time just in stillness to breathe and be a little different. On your next breath in, everyone looks forward. Hop, step, skip, reach, walk, dance into your forward fold. Hang heavy. Let the head hang heavy. Give it a little wiggle, a little shake, just to make sure we're not holding anything in the neck and shoulders. On an inhale, rise up to that flat back. Exhale, fold once more. Inhale, we bend through the knees, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, palms at the heart center. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move that blanket. Because we're going to practice a little standing flow. So from the top of your mat, taking a generous step back with that left leg, finding yourself in high lunge. Now, high lunge looks like this. Hips pointed towards the short edge of the mat, right? The front. You're going to bend into that front left knee just as much as you would like. Sometimes that's a lot, sometimes that's a little. But again, we're stretching through the front body so you can see, just like earlier, we were lengthening our leg out to stretch through that front hip flexor. So here you are again. You might meet it by lifting through the heart, lifting through the arms. Again, we're opening the whole front body. Beautiful. Each inhale invites more opening, more energy. That back heel remains lifted, right? This is a high lunge. And then keeping that strength, pressing through the pad of that front foot, through the ball of that back foot. We're going to sweep the heart forward. Those fingertips down and back, find high javelin, right? Javalin pose. And we imagine we are a spear, right? This long stretch here from head all the way down to those right toes. And then when you're ready, step it forward. Whoo, shake it out in the hips. That's good. When you're ready, shift your weight over into that right foot. Generous step back with the left. High lunge. Ooh, bend into that front knee. Open the front of the body. Create space. Deep breaths in. Find your power. Your jaw is going to want to clench. Your tongue is going to want to press into your mouth. Let them relax as you breathe strength into your body. And then on an exhale, javelin. Press those fingers back as the head presses up and out. This like equal and opposite thing, making this length all through the neck and the spine. And then when you're ready, step it forward. Rise up tall. Beautiful. Shake it out. Shake it out. Wonderful. From here, let's make our way down. Let's keep it gentle. Let's do a big wide-legged child's pose. So from hands and knees, big toes together, knees out wide. We're going to sit the hips back towards the heels. I love wide-legged child's pose because there's plenty of room for my body to slowly melt down towards the earth. On forearms, you might grab a blanket to support the heart center here. There's so much we can do to love and meet ourselves. And then from this wide-legged child's pose, an option here to take a twist. So it looks like this. We're going to take your left hand, slide it underneath the right, palm up. Just like that. And then this right hand becomes a kickstand. And you might put it below or above this left hand to help sort of turn the heart center. So the hips remain relaxing down towards the earth. And it's your heart and shoulders that really want to turn and look towards the sky. You might just take a moment here. And then when you're ready, rise up into a tabletop-ish position. Switch sides. Thread that right arm through, palm up. And then play with twisting the head and the heart skyward. This gets deep into the hips, not just the neck and the shoulders. Beautiful. From here, release. Roll fully onto the belly, lengthen out. Breathe this right arm out, palm down, and then roll back into it. And again, I'm using my left hand as a kickstand, right? As something that can kind of help press and roll me back. And you're only going to roll as far as feels good in the arm with the palm down. You might notice where you feel this up in your shoulder, maybe down in your thumb. There's no wrong answer. Your answer is the right answer. Because our goal is to notice. Roll back onto the back. Roll right back into that shoulder. And what you might realize is that you have a lot more range of motion. And all we did was just flip the hand. We're getting into different muscles here. You might even take that kickstanded arm and reach it skyward. There's a bind here with these hands. Some folks really enjoy that, interlacing the fingers to further open up the heart center. Take your time. Breathe deep into your body here. Let your breath work to stretch and release the muscles and the fascia even further. In your own time, release, roll back onto the back. T now, left hand out, palm down, roll back into it. Soften and relax, right? Just like with that toe curling, right? When intensity rises, our jaw wants to clench, our stomach wants to clench, because that's what happens when intense emotions rise. When intensity arises in our bodies, when intense emotion arises in our bodies, your physical body has a response to those feelings, right? So we're tensing, we're clenching when intensity arises in the body, no matter what it is. And that's why in these spaces, we're not only building awareness by noticing that, right? By being present with sensation, but each time we relax, each time we notice and relax into it, we are unraveling ourselves from a habit we didn't even know we had that causes us pain, that affects us emotionally and physically. When you're ready, roll onto the belly, skyward, and roll it on back. Whew. Be where you want to be. Take your time. We've done a lot of neck, shoulder opening today because so much of the wisdom that is here is because this is open and seeing the world as it is, because our throat chakra is speaking the truth, right? Not just harsh, right? Not just pleasing, people pleasing, but the truth. I like to say that our Ajna, this place of wisdom, it's also called the place of perception and command. That this is open when this is open. Because as you perceive life, as everything comes into your brain, first it has to go through the lens of love, right? And the lens of love isn't squishy and lovely. Go ahead and roll onto your belly. Again, if it feels nice, and then press back into one more child's pose. Traditional or wide-legged, up to you. But we talk about this love, right? Like, oh, the lens of love. We view life through rose-colored glasses, but the lens of love is fiery. Love is fierce. Love is empathetic and sees the value and the worthiness in every living creature, right? Love holds worthiness at the forefront and says everything is just else is just details, right? And so when we perceive life, we have to perceive it through a lens of love. All right, from here, we're going to take our final Shavasana. Now, you might lay out on your belly, crocodile pose. It has been jam lately. Blanket for those of you with chest. invite an intuitive awakening. A stretch. I like to pretend that I'm a cat waking up from a nap in the sun on the porch. And like, you know how cats roll around? Like, they don't care. They're just here. Ugh, being present in the moment. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, finding your version of a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like. Maybe you bring palms to the heart center to close your practice. Maybe it feels right, instead of the heart center, to take the thumbs and press them up into the ajna, into that third eye. As you close your practice, you move out into real life. So here on the mat, we've practiced awareness. We've practiced releasing judgment. We've practiced being present with self. As you roll up your mat, as you continue through your day, take this practice and make it your life. Notice how your ajna opens, how your wisdom transforms when you remain present with self, without judgment. And as always, remember that the light in the dark in me sees the light in the dark in you, and we are the same.